Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, cats, and squirrels. Thank you so very much for tuning in. My name is Yakko, and today we're going to be talking about and going over the buyback feature on the RSI website. So, who is this video for? Number one, first and foremost, this video is for everybody. If you're cool, number two, if you're, let's say you already own a game package, this probably is the video for you. Technically, you don't need to own a game package in order to do all of this stuff. But if you're enjoying the game, you're probably going to be the person who's in the position to do this. Unless the hype really got you good and you really want to be giving Chris Roberts some of that Starbucks money, you're probably going to be playing the game. So, because if you're just getting into this and perhaps you've seen some things, you need a game package in order to play. So obviously you need to own something like this in order to play the game. It's just simple. So that's first and foremost who like I said, it's for people who basically are already in the game. You're already in the community. You've already just been, gripped and held down, and your wallet's been stolen from you by Chris Roberts, and you're already into the game. You're going down the rabbit hole. There's no coming out. This video is for you, man, and we've all been there. If you're here, you're already there, and congratulations, you are just as screwed as I am. So there's that, number one. Number two, buybacks. So there's a couple different things in the game. There's the buyback stuff, and then there's also CCU upgrades or cross chassis upgrades, which is under this tab right here. But we will not be getting into that. Not today. I'll be doing this, doing a CCU upgrade video down the road because I feel that most of the videos personally did not help me out, besides really frustrating me and making me write things. Hear that? That's paper. I don't write things for college, let alone for a video game? Damn. So I really just prefer videos that are more concise. I'm going to go ahead and make a video down the road and just explain it, and I think it's going to be pretty good. But that's just, maybe a little bit of bias. So there's that. Buybacks, however, are going to be a little different. Buybacks are for people who might have the ability to spend the money and who are well prepared. If you're watching this video after an event, which is ironically enough just after I'm making this video, the IAE event, which is the Intergalactic, I think, Aerospace Expo, I believe, Aerospace maybe, Expo, took place about a week ago. So if you're watching this right when this video comes out, you're kind of screwed. I'm not going to lie, and I do apologize. I should have maybe gotten this video a little bit before. But if you're also watching this, my videos are, brand new to YouTube, so you probably have maybe already seen, hopefully, some videos on this before the expo. But to throw my hat in the ring, I'm going to start off now, and I'll maybe do like an updated video with my hanger and stuff, all that kind of good stuff down the road next year. But there are going to be sales between now and the next IAE event. So either way, there's that. And I hope that if you are playing the game, that I hope that you enjoyed the IAE event, and then maybe this is what's gotten you into this video in the first place. The IAE event, you're like, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I won't spend any more money on the game. But you play it and you're like, damn, I really like that Eclipse. Or I really like, I don't know what ship is out there. I really like the Caterpillar. So you're like, bruh, I need this ship. So how do I go about getting it next time I have the ability to do so? So, now that we know who the video's for, number two, we know that you're screwed because you're already here. And number three, which we're going to jump into right now, why would we want to actually go about doing the buyback program? First of all, let's actually talk about what it is. So if you go into your hanger here, buyback stuff. Here's your hanger. This is everything that you personally own. Everything that you see under my hanger and my gear is stuff that you own. You have spent the money. You've given Chris Roberts that Starbucks money. You own a license to play the game. If you own one of these right here on the starter pack, you can play the game. All these other things are ships. You've spent the money. You own it. You're good to go. This is stuff that you have. This is tied to your account, all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah. Now what? Well, so basically the buyback thing, what it is it's your own personal store. I can go to buyback pledges, Go to standalone ships. And look at that. I can buy all this stuff right now, which is special because you can't, if you were a brand new player, you could not buy this ship. I can go to Buyback. I can pull out my wallet. Oops. Well, maybe I can add it to my cart. See, look at that. Chris is already making me do it on accident. So I can nibble on the gun barrel that Chris Roberts is holding to me, and I can cry and give him my wallet and pay him $185. And I can get the ship in the game. And the Aegis Saber Comet, pretty cool ship, and it looks damn sexy. So if you want it, you can get it. Or I can get it. You can't. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. So let's go ahead and backtrack here a little bit. So the whole, like, what this thing is it's essentially, and the reason why you'd want it is it's your own little store. I can at any time go in and purchase any of these. An Asperia Glaive, really cool ship. It is super bugged right now. Don't buy it, please. Or don't, use it. But if I want to, I can go spend $350 and get it right now. So there's that. And furthermore, I don't have this because I screwed up and kind of was an idiot, but if you have a buyback pledge, which if you normally do, there would be like a yellow box or orange box right around here somewhere, and it'll say buyback tokens 1. Essentially, if you have a buyback token, you're able to use store credit to purchase one of these ships. How this would work, let's say I was going to buy the Asperia Glaive. I would go here, store credits, and I would add. I actually have $5. Does it even let me add money to this damn thing? Let's press like 1. Does it even let me do it? Oh my god, it does. What the hell? It's weird. So I can use store credit, I guess, maybe. But you can use store credit if you have a coupon and be able to purchase the entire thing without spending a single dime. Let's say you've spent let's say you spent $500 on the game, right? And you have your starter package and you want to buy an Asperia Glaive and you have the money in your account. I'll show you in your store right here. So this right here is store credit, by the way. Sorry for clearing my throat. It's winter here and it's super dry, so it's screwing with me. So you have your $5 or let's say you have $350 in store credit, which would show up right here. There's a 3 and a 5 in front of this, or a 3 here and a 0 here. I could go ahead and you have a buyback token. You can use store credit and buy this entire thing and not spend a dime of your actual money anymore, right? You don't have to give Chris any of that money. He's going to have to deal with it this time. And you can spend your $350 in store credit and you're good to go. You now own the Glaive. You can go ahead and do that and play with it. It's good to go. It's yours. Thing is though, if you want to use a ship essentially that is not for sale usually, and if I go to the pledge store, go to extras, and like I said, let's say you wanted to buy a ship that's no longer, let's actually use the Eclipse as an example because I actually own it. I have it in buyback. So if I want to buy the Eclipse, let's say you're playing in your starter ship and you're like, you own like a Caterpillar and you're like, I just don't give a hell about, hauling. I just want to freaking kill things with my super expensive torpedoes. You can actually go, well, actually, no, you can't. You can't actually go and purchase the Eclipse right now. So normally you would say, what the hell? I can't buy it. I can't give Chris any money. I'm screwed. I cannot buy the ship unless I want to grind it out in a game, which is possible. But if you're spending money on the game, you should know that you're just kind of helping fund the game's development. Either way, you want the damn ship, and when the game comes out, you want to have it. Maybe. But perhaps down the road, you look at yourself and you're like, well, I already changed my mind once. This is expensive. And I already have $295 for the cat plus my $95 starter package. Well, that's a lot of money if I'm just going to spend $300 when the next sale comes out. You don't have to do that. Because if you're preparing, let's say you're watching this before a sale, if you're preparing, you can make your money go far. Make your money work for you. Is that some Donald Trump thing, maybe? So what I did is I made my money work for me. My dad would be happy. My mom, maybe not so much. I don't know. I don't tell her about my gaming habits, okay? But I can at any time go and purchase this Eclipse, which I've probably said a million times, and I do apologize for that. So essentially, to answer my initial question, why would you want to actually partake in this whole buyback scheme thing? You're not scheming anybody. You're just... It all comes down to being able to have your own personal store. The Corsair is not on sale. I do want the damn Corsair. In fact, I'm probably going to use my buyback token to get the Corsair when it comes out. So I want the Corsair, right? I can't buy the damn Corsair until it goes on sale next. Or, if you utilize your money correctly during a sale, you can go ahead and basically have your own store down the road. I can buy a Hull B right now, or any of these ships on buyback. Even though a lot of them aren't on sale right now. Some of them are actually. But let's say you want a Carrack, a really good example. Or a Perseus. Yes, I made that mistake. If you want, not the mistake that the ship's bad, the mistake of me spending that much damn money. So, but if you want a Carrack, I can just go buy it. If I want it, and I'm like, hey, I got $600 to blow, bruh. Boom, it's mine right there. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And let's say instead of spending that $350 on the glaive that I just spent, right? Or I, hypothetically spent, you say, man, I really want this Anvil Carrack, and I have a buyback token. So I can use the $350 of that store credit and actually get the Carrack for a discount of the ship is $600, dude. Like it's an expensive ship, but you don't want to spend $600 of new money. How do you go about getting it? Well, you can use your store credits to actually get this at any time for $250. You would have to spend the difference in order to get this to the 600 if you're spending 350. But if I add this to my cart, and I have 350, I could throw $350 in here and that'll be 250. I'm pretty sure that's how math works. I'm not good at math, but either way. And then I would have to spend my difference, which is $250. So at that point, I'm able to have a Carrack for $250 essentially. Oh, $600 at the very end. But you know what I'm trying to say. Let's say, especially you backed this game years ago and you want to spend money now. It's not so big of a deal if you're spending $250 versus $600 of new money. So that's the whole point. But the big reason is you're able to actually do this whenever you want, which is really neat because let's say I go to my hangar and I am playing, let's say the C2 comes out. The C2 comes out and I'm really not liking the ship. Well, I can change my ship around. I can go here, hit exchange. I'm not going to hit submit. But if I did hit the submit button, I would have $360 of in-store credit. Get away from me. Don't do this on accident. Okay, be careful. So I would have my money. It's locked in. So I would have my $360. I can go ahead and I can go shopping at that point. Well, you're like, well, no ships are on sale. But I'm like, wait a minute, Chief. You were smart with your money during an event. And now I can go shopping all I want, man. I can buy anything that I want. I can buy a freaking Ares. I can buy a freaking Asperia once this stops going. I can buy a Corsair if I want to. You can do whatever you want because you were smart and you actually bought it back. So to answer the question, long story short, the reason that you do this is so that you can have your own personal store and you have flexibility in your fleet. I can buy this Corsair right now for $215. I can spend my money for $215. I can have the Corsair. Corsair's not a game yet, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I can then go ahead and if a week down the road I don't like it, I can go, okay, well, that sucked. That was a dumbass idea. So what you do is you go ahead and you hit the exchange thing and you exchange it, which is just basically you're melting it. And that just basically means to refund for store credit the money that you spent already. So if I were to hit submit, I would get $360 in store credit. So there's that. At that point in time, I'm able to then go ahead and go, okay, now I can go ahead and go back to my buyback pledges. And at any point in time, look and say, okay, well, what do my needs change in game? my personality changes, maybe you're going through a rough breakup or something, and you're like, damn, I really need a new ship. I'm just not feeling this one, we're just not getting along. Maybe she's just, I don't know. I just don't get it. We just don't get, we're not vibing anymore. You can switch up your fleet whenever you want. This is about having your own personal store, but most importantly, it's about having flexibility. And so that's the biggest reason, is having the flexibility to change up your fleet when you want to. And again, you can use your store credit to buy these ships once quarterly. I'm not saying you can do this every weekend or every day, but every few months or so, you can actually come in here and change up your fleet without spending a dime extra. Or if you want to give money to RSI, you can buy the Starfighter. Let's say this drops, I don't know, randomly in the middle of this December this December update, and it becomes flyable. You can say, oh, hey, I want to get that ship. Well, you were smart with your money during an event, and now you have the ability to go and purchase it again. And let's say you don't have the buyback, but you're okay with spending the extra $220. You can get it right now. There we go. It's yours. And it's no big deal. That option is locked in for you. That's option number one. That's reason number one that you would want to do this. Reason number two, and one that I kind of screwed up because I was going to do this with the Endeavor, but oh my God, that was gross. So with the Endeavor, I wanted to do this, but I guess a good reason, or a good option, or a good example would be the Asperia Talon. This is only $100 right now. So during the event, it was $100. The cool thing about having a ship in buyback, let's say you buy this Asperia Talon during 2021 November's IAE 2951 event, and you spend $100 on this. This is all hypothetical, by the way. If this ship, and then so you buy it, right? It's in your hangar, and then you do exactly what I did with that Carrack, or with that C2. Oops, let's go here. I'm not going to buy that Carrack. And you exchange it. Boom. Your money is in your vault right now, right? And it's in your buyback pledges. Kind of like what I just did with my Carrack. Well, or with my Talon. So this was $100 when I bought it, right? My price is locked in. Let's say in 1 year, this Asperia Talon goes up to $200. It won't, but let's say hypothetically. If this ship goes to $200, I don't spend $200 to get this ship if I don't want to. I can go to the store page, go to Asperia, and go here and click whatever, and then, oh, boom, I have a $200 option. Well, I'm like, well, what the hell? I spent $100 last year to get it. Oh, wait, I'm freaking smart as hell. I can just go here, go to my, what am I doing? Go to my buyback pledges, standalone ships, Asperia Talon, and bada bing, bada boom. I can get it for $100. So what I'm trying to say here, seriously, is that when you buy a ship and it goes into your buybacks, we're meaning that you melt it, aka you refund it, essentially, exchange it. You can go ahead and purchase it at any time for that initial price that you paid for it. You are not spending the inflated price. A big example of that would be the Banu Merchantman. The Banu Merchantman got a random price hike by like over $50 randomly. So, and a Carrack, what is a good one? The Carrack, when it first came out, was $350. You know how much it is now? $600. That's a huge discount if you would have gotten this, if you'd have done this down the road, or, way back when it first came out. I didn't do that because I'm stupid. But so probably, maybe even the biggest reason about doing this is if you purchase these ships, your price is locked in, and your flexibility of being able to buy them whenever you want is also locked in. So you have not only a store at your disposal anytime that you want, any time of the year, no matter what. You don't have to wait for RSI, for CIG to throw random ships on sale. If you want to buy the Carrack, you can, or the Drake Corsair, for example, you can just go do it. And your price is locked in. Because I bought this during the IAE event for $215, not only can I purchase it at any time because I already purchased it, but I can purchase it at any time for the price that I purchased it for initially. I do not have to spend the money. If the ship goes up in price, I do not have to pay the inflated price. If it goes up to $250, I don't pay the $250. I can pay the $215, essentially turning my ship into, a ticket for free stuff down the road. I'm going to get into the whole ship upgrade thing in a different video, but that's actually it makes money, long story short. Okay. So, it can kind of print money of its own volition. It's interesting, but either way, like I said, this is a whole mini game. So that's why you'd want to do it. Yeah, that's it. So just to recap one more time, number one reason why you'd want to do it is because you have flexibility. You can actually change out your fleet whenever you want. You can purchase these ships whenever you want. You don't have to wait for the pledge store to have them up. If you had to wait if I wanted to buy that Corsair now, I'm screwed for the next year, possibly. You're kind of, you're boned. If I were to go to the correct place, I'm going to show you guys, I'm screwed. I can't buy that right now. And some of these ships are available year round. And this buyback thing you shouldn't really do this with ships that are available all the time unless you think that they're going to go up in price. If you think that they're going to go, like let's say this Misk Prospector, I can buy this anytime, day or night that I want to. It's always available. The only reason that I would buy a Misk Prospector and keep it in buyback is if I think it's going to go up in price, or if there's some kind of weird special thing. You would have seen in my buyback that I had the Drake Cutlass Black Best in Show Edition. I bought that just to have the Best in Show Edition. So there's that. Another option is if you wanted to have something in buyback with better insurance. So this ship here, Misk Prospector, is 6-month insurance, but if I were to buy this with 120-month insurance during the IAE event, it would have come with 120-month insurance. And I'll show you that really quickly here. This is kind of what I bought. So this is my my Talon Shrike. It comes with 120-month insurance. If I were to buy this ship after this special event, because this 120-month insurance, God, I cannot speak. Insurance was a special event during the IAE event. You would probably get 6-month insurance or so, which is kind of bad because we don't really know how insurance is going to work in the game. But if I buy this during the special event, and then I just then I just refund it essentially for store credit, and then it stays on sale, but I have my higher insurance in buyback, I don't have to purchase the ship on the actual store in the pledge store with the bad insurance because I've got one with good insurance in the buyback. And I'll actually go ahead and show you really quickly again. If I go to buyback pledges and I go to standalone ships here. So the Drake Cutlass Black Best in Show Edition. If I were to buy this in game right now, let's go ahead and look at how much it costs. Standalone ship. Let's go to, where's the Cutlass Black? How much is insurance do I get? 6-month insurance. So I get 6 months of insurance for a Drake Cutlass Black. But because I have a Drake Cutlass Black in my buyback that I bought during the special event, this Cutlass Black that I have in buyback comes with 120 months. Look at that. So I get, for the same exact cost, I get way better insurance. So it's like, that is the only reason that you should be buying a ship that is always available. If let's say you already own a Cutlass Black, let's say you go to your hangar and you own a Cutlass Black and it has 6 months of insurance. Or let's say my C2, or let's say Cutlass Black because that's always available. And yours has 6 months of insurance. Well, one of these special events come along and you're like, well, I have 6 months of insurance, but for the same exact cost, I could have gotten, that Cutlass Black with the whatever, that let's say 120 months of insurance. You would just go ahead and melt this, turn it into store credit, and then you would go purchase the new one, yada yada. You know what I'm trying to get, and then you could actually have that with, You could either keep it in buyback. Let's say you wanted to do something, but yeah, you have that flexibility at that point because you already own the ship, and you don't have to spend a dime more if you don't want to, because you have that with that store credit. So, at that point in time, you're pretty much good to go, and you have the ability to, purchase any of these ships, like I said, from your buyback pledge. But like I said, and the only reason that you should be buying one of these ships with, and keeping it in buyback or whatever during one of these events is if you wanted the special insurance. However, you can actually check right here. This is a list of pledge vehicles. This is the Star Citizen tools. And you can actually switch, you can actually sort this by availability, and this will show you exactly what's always available. So like I said, all these ships are here. A90 Jump, can't buy it. Glaive, can't buy it. Idris, well, this is all big stuff. But these time-limited sales are kind of what I'm talking about. If I want to buy the 600i Touring, I can do that. But if I were to spend the money, and let's say you bought this 600i at the let's say you bought this A2 Hercules or something at a special price when it first comes out, and you put the money back into your store credit with that charge, or not charge back, but with that exchange, that price that you initially pay is locked in. This may not be the best example, but still. So yeah, let's go ahead and actually show you kind of what you would want to do. Specifically, now that we've covered why you would want to do this and how it kind of works a little bit, we're going to go to specifically how it works. It's extremely simple. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Carrack. And again, at this point in time, you're probably watching this video. You should be watching this video in preparation for an event, like the IAE event in 2021. So you would be prepared. You have your money, right? You're just gunning to spend money. You would go into your hangar. You would click on everything that you own, and you would melt it, meaning you exchange it, everything. And I'll explain in a different video why I have 3 of the same exact ships. But so if you have, maybe not melt your starting package unless you you don't have to use you don't have to melt your starting package. But let's say you have all these extra ships, and let's say you're maybe not using them all the time. You would go ahead and melt these, and you would have all this money to play with, essentially. Let's say you have $200 to play with. Well, then during an event, you would go, and I got to show you this with my standalone ships now. Or let's say you have $500 just to, make it simple, because some of my ships are a little more than that. You could go ahead and you're like, well, damn, I really like that Aegis Comet, but I don't want to spend like $1 million. Like if I were to spend all of this, if I were to buy one of these and keep it, and then, I want access to all of these, but I don't want to have to keep them all in my hangar because I'm not a multimillionaire, unfortunately. Basically, you would throw this into your cart and try to get it as close to $300 as you can. Make your money count. You've just melted $300 for the stuff. So now you have $300 of store credit. You then put $300 of the stuff inside of your cart. You buy it. And at that point in time, it'd be in your hangar. And then if I were to buy something right now, it would give me a 24-hour cooldown. So it would make me, if I wanted to melt this and I just bought it a minute ago, it would take me 24 hours to be able to actually do this. So you would have 10 chances to do this. But that $300 can go a long ass way. So you would basically buy this 24 hours later. I come in here and I melt it. And again, melting just means to exchange for store credit my $360. And I almost hit that submit button, I think. So yeah, let's not fiddle around too much with that, because I do want to keep the C2. So at that point in time, I have the C2, but then I melt it, and then, oh shit, it's in my freaking buyback. I can come back here whenever I want to and buy it back. Well, then you have your $300 back again, and you're like, okay, well now what kind of ship do I want? Now I can buy the Drake Corsair, and then I can also throw in maybe, something else that's a little cheaper. You go, I mean, hopefully you can kind of see where this is going, where day one, you buy the Saber Comet and you buy the Talon Shrike, or the Spirit Talon. And then day two, you buy an Eclipse. That's $300. And then you melt it again. So of course, day one, you buy the Talon and the Saber Comet, and in 24 hours, you melt it. So now it's in your buyback. You can buy that whenever you want. And that price is locked in. So you buy that, you melt it. 24 hours later, and then as soon as you melt it, you then immediately buy the Drake Corsair and, I don't know, something else. But let's say you just have the Drake Corsair. After a couple hours, or after 24 hours, you come back, you melt it, and you immediately buy the Eclipse. And you're not spending any more money, by the way, because you already have that $300 in there. That $300 is already in the game. And so after that 24-hour period, you melt the Eclipse, and then you come and you buy the Crusader. 24 hours pass, you come and you melt again. You hit that exchange button, you hit submit, goes into your store credit. You use that store credit to buy the Ares Starfighter Inferno. And you're not spending any more money. You're just using your in-store credit. And then you come back 24 hours later, do the exact same thing, rinse and repeat to get the Drake Colorless Black. Well, then the event's over. You're like, okay, well, the event's over. Whatever. It's all good. Well, after the event, you've only put in $300 into the game, but you have access to, and you have purchased the Eclipse, the Drake Corsair, the Saber Comet, Mercury Star Runner, Hall B, Spirit Talon, not these two, the Starfighter Inferno, and the Colorless Black. Well, you're like, well, good God, that's a lot of money. Well, that's a lot of ships. At that point in time, after you do that for 10 days, you have access to a lot of ships, so that you have that $300 to play with in your account, right? Because, technically $395, I believe, because I talked about you needing that package. And if you really want to get kind of nutsy with it, you could melt your game package and also use that extra $95. Let's say you purchase the Nomad Starter Pack, which I believe is $95. Let's go ahead and check here. Yeah, $95. So let's say you had $395. You could actually melt this, and then instead of just using 300 in my previous example, you can use 395. And then after the event is over, you can go and use your store credit and then rebuy back your starter pack for that $95, and then use your extra $300 on your final day of the sale, because you can only do this every 24 hours. Let's say the sale ends at 10 o'clock your time. I'll use myself as an example. The event ends at 10 o'clock in the morning your time, so 10 a.m., 1000 hours. You would put whatever ship you wanted to end with in your cart. Anything that you wanted to actually end with in your cart, and you would buy that, and then you would hold on to it, and you haven't spent any extra money. You just used that $300. So let's say you wanted to end with the Eclipse, or you wanted to end with, I don't know, anything, right? You can use this for any ship. You would then purchase that ship that you wanted to really end with. You really wanted to make that your end fleet. You should probably figure this out in the first time, so that you don't do what I did, because I actually bought the Eclipse thinking I was going to, you keep that as my last ship, and then I changed my mind later. So actually, I ended up screwing myself up. I would have had a lot more ships in my buyback if I wouldn't have screwed up, more than once actually. And then as long as you end with $95 to spare in your buyback, or not in your buyback, but in your store credit, you have 300. You end the event with an Eclipse, which is $300, and you have $95 left in your store credit, and you have a buyback token. You just then go to your buyback pledges. Go to, I guess you go to game packages. Your Nomad would be in here. You would buy it with store credit, use your token, done, boom. Well, people might say, well, why would you use your token right away? Like the event just ended. Well, on January 3rd, you get a new token. So let's say, for my buyback pledges, my final fleet is an Eclipse and a Nomad starter pack. My Eclipse was $300. So on January 3rd, I've been playing with my Eclipse and I'm like, bruh, I hate this thing. What the hell was I thinking? Well, you're like, I really wanted a freaking, I don't know, let's say Mercury Star Runner. Great idea. Let's say you're like, dude, I really want a Mercury Star Runner because it's really hyped right now. It's kind of new and I'm stupid as hell because size 9 torpedoes are expensive. Trust me, I'm talking from experience. So you're like, dude, I messed up. So you wait like a month and a half, not even. And you go, well, no, not even. Hey, but you wait like a month and a half. And then at that point in time, you're like, okay, I get my buyback token, meaning I can use store credit again. So you go into your hangar, you melt the Eclipse. Again, you exchange it for store credit. That $300 goes into your store credit right up here. You then scroll down to a Mercury Star Runner that you bought during the event. And you go, oh, hey, I can buy it back right now. Even after the sale is over, even when it's not available for sale normally, I can buy it right now. So at that point in time, you have that flexibility once again, which is the whole point. Because, things change. The game changes quite a bit. 3.12 is almost going to come out. Well, what comes out in 3.12? Rumors that probably not going to happen, but C2 is going to come out pretty soon. Then you have like the Asperia, like the Talon's probably going to be coming out soon. Let's say the Talon comes out and it's really awesome, but I have the Shrike in my hangar. I actually own it. So I own this Shrike. Well, let's say the Shrike comes, all the changes happen to the missiles, right? Well, I have the Shrike, which is the bomber version of the Asperia Talon. Well, I'm like, dude, bruh, what the hell? This ship sucks donkey anus, man. I hate it. All I got to do is, because I was smart during this event, which we just went over, I can then go hit exchange, get my $100 back, and let's say the price jumped $100. So we're looking at a $200 sale. If I go to the pledge store, this ship right here is going to be $200, but I have it in buyback for $100. Because I bought this during the event, and hey, there's a change to the game. The missiles suck ass now. I can go into my buyback, and I can say, well, I have $100 in store credit. I go into my buyback, and I have my token back because it's January 3rd now. I can throw this into my car for $100 and spend $0 extra and get the same ship that I really want to. Because this is the fighter version. I want to try something else. Well, there you go. You can do it. Just because you played your cards right, you have this buyback system, good to go. Like I said, I didn't start until halfway through the event, and this ship right here, I'll tell you exactly how much money it was. It was not cheap. So, I had this much money to play around with because I did melt my starter package, and I also screwed up because I then bought it back with store credit and then remelted it because I was an idiot because I didn't really understand how this all worked, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. So let's go ahead and recap a little bit because this is a lot of information to take in. Number one, why would you want to do this? Because if you play your cards right, especially during an event, this is probably going to be mainly useful during a sale. Number one, again, this is just a recap. Number one, you are able to have your own personal store whenever you want to. You're able to come in here, and let's say you don't have a token, you can spend money. You can spend real life money at any point in time to get any of these ships that you really want to. So number one, it offers you flexibility. Number two, it locks in prices. If the Carrack goes up to $300 or $675, I don't spend $675. I spend $600. So I have that price locked in at that point in time. And that is actually where CCU upgrades in buyback are not as good. And I'll cover that in my CCU upgrade video, but I would say personally, if you have the ability to put something with a full purchase, especially if it's something that's in concept, if you're able to do that and put that into buyback with an actual full purchase standalone ship, I would recommend doing that. Either way, that's besides the point. So that's number 2. You're locking in prices. And number 3, you're locking in insurance. This Drake Cutlass Black, if I want it, I can just come in here and get it, and I'm going to have 120 months, 10 years of insurance. You do not need more than 10 years of insurance. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this and you really want LTI, which is lifetime insurance, you do not need lifetime insurance. If you're playing this game 10 years down the road, you do not need that. I'm just saying. If you have it, that's great, but you don't need it. But like I said, here I would have it. I would have my 120-month insurance, which is the whole point. So I'm locking in the ability to buy these ships whenever I want to. My ability to change up my fleet and, become flexible in the game and change my roles up, and perhaps my org grows, right? Perhaps you're running an organization, one of these things, and your organization starts growing. Well, your needs, like if you have an eclipse, you're like, dude, I can't play with my friends, Maybe you get friends. What the hell are those, right? But if you have friends and you're like, okay, my friend is getting into Star Citizen and really likes it. Well, I can't do much. I would have to go get one of these other ships that are currently for sale. But if you have them in buyback, you have the flexibility to come in here and change. Hey, I want to buy, let's say the Corsair comes out. You have that flexibility. And you have the price locked in, and you have the insurance locked in. You're set. As long as this is in buyback, which I don't think it's going to be taken out of buyback for years because the game's not going to release anytime soon, you are good to go. You have that flexibility, and you can play with your money that you've already spent. You're not going to be cheating CIG out of money, but you can play with the money that you've already spent. I have $675 in this game. I can fiddle around and melt stuff and rebuy stuff and melt stuff and rebuy stuff all I want without spending an extra dime, which is really nice. So that's it. That's basically why I would want to do it. And to recap, second part here, how you do it, very simple. You buy it, but you have to wait until an event. So you wait until like IAE. And if you're going to see all this like IAE 2950, that just means that I bought that during that event. It's kind of like a special edition. Special edition meaning that it just has this special 120-month insurance. And in fact, it says right here, this is a 2950 IAE edition, which comes with an exclusive 10-year insurance contract. So if you purchase this during this special event, not only do you get the ability to purchase these ships, which are usually not for sale, but you also get that special 10-year insurance contract. So yeah, basically, able to come in here. I can snag this whenever I want. And all you do is you buy it initially. And again, to recap how you do it, you just buy it initially using your store credit. Like I said, before the event, you melt anything that you don't and absolutely really need, and maybe even melt your game package, which is what I did if you play your cards right. So you would you can melt your entire hangar, buy every single ship in the game that you want up to that certain threshold. If let's say you only have 350, you can't spend more than that. But if that's your absolute cutoff, you don't want to spend more than that. You can get a ton of ships in the game for $350. Almost every, and if you play your cards right in 10 days, you can probably have most of the ships in the entire game in your buyback. Anything that's a lot of money, you know what I mean? So you go ahead, you purchase it, and then in 24 hours, you would melt this Speria Glaive, and you would then immediately get your store credited your account again up here, and then you would go ahead and purchase this ship with your store credit, so you're not spending a dime extra. In 24 hours, you melt it once again, goes to your store credit, and then you would purchase whatever ship. Up until that $350 threshold, you're not spending a dime. And then, yeah, that's it. And then as soon as you melt it, it goes into your buyback pledges. So the event's over. You don't have any ability to go into the normal CIG pledge store and purchase a ship. You then go into your buyback pledges. Let's go ahead and just restart here. Go to RSI website. I can go to my account, go to buyback pledges again, and I've already showed you guys this a million times, but still. Well, there's no event going on, but I can still buy all this cool stuff. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's why you would want to do it, and why I would recommend doing it. Because, like when I first started playing this game, my end ship that I wanted was the Eclipse. I've used that as a what's it called? As an example, quite a few times tonight, because I speak from experience. I bought the Eclipse and I was like, damn, this is going to be the end shit, man. But my hangar now is completely different. The only reason I was able to do that is because I had this stuff in buyback. So, and I've got, so yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at. My end hangar right now is the Nomad. And again, I'm going to go over this whole upgrade thing later, but, yeah, no, I should go ahead and mention, that you cannot buy War Bond with store credit. I guess I will mention this really quickly here. If I go to RSI, Perseus, view more. I don't know why this is just going to be annoying, but most ships you can buy with store credit. If I go to standalone ships, I can buy any of these for store credit right now. No problem. The only thing that I cannot buy with store credit is when it says War Bond in front of it. So where is Robert Service Industries? So I bought, where's the Perseus? I bought this Perseus. I, however, did not spend an extra $600 with my wallet. I spent $215, I think, because I paid the difference with my store credit. So if I buy the War Bond, which is this version right here, Perseus War Bond standalone, I cannot use store credit. That's very important. It's cheaper, but you can't use store credit. I would have loved to save $75, but I couldn't because I did not. I could not because I was not going to spend an extra $600 with my wallet, actual cash money. But I did get it for $675, which ended up me paying the difference of $215, I believe it was. And that's it. It's good to go. You are good to go, ski. And then what's cool, because I did again buy this at $675 here, if this jumps up to $750 down the road, I don't know, RSI, CIG, they'll jump prices like it's nothing. I don't have to spend the extra money again. But we're going over stuff that I've already talked about a million times. So that's basically it. Wait for the event. Buy something. 24 hours later, you melt it. And I'm gonna make an updated video down the road, by the way. So I'll actually probably make a video of me personally doing this. But yeah, it's good to go. And then after that point in time, you have that flexibility, you have that locked in price, you have that locked in insurance. You're able to kind of just fiddle around, man. And then I will mention this just because this does have something to do with buyback. If you are going to do the CCU thing, if I wanted to, I could throw all of my CCU seeds, and this is completely separate, I guess, from just the pure buyback. But if you're going to, I could throw these seeds. Yeah, this is not an LTI token, but it's a 10-month token, right? But it's a 10-year token. Well, I can throw this in buyback, and if I want to buy it back, all I got to do is spend $20 to get it back. And it's better than spending the however much to get the full ship. But if you're watching this and you're talking about seeds, you're probably already knowing about it. So either way, and I will be exchanging this, by the way. So I can hold on to these ships when let's say the 400i comes out in a couple weeks. I can melt all of these. That gives me 20, 40, $60 towards that I can use towards the next, the 400i. I can then melt the 400i and, not have to worry about it. So either way, long story short, that is why you'd want to do it. That is how you do it. And I will show you visually during the next sale. If you have any questions, go ahead, leave them down below. If you're still kind of confused about this, I can maybe do something, maybe like a follow-up video or something like that. But otherwise, you should be good to go. It's not too difficult once you get it. You're just basically buying and then refunding for store credit. But the biggest thing is, you would say, like, why would you want to do that? I've answered that in all this video, or throughout all this entire video. I'm going to go now because I'm super tired and my throat is extremely raw. And you can make any jokes you want about that. But I've been talking straight, because this is also like my fourth take. So either way, like I said, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you dislike the video, give it a dislike. But yeah, thank you so very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.